Yes, sir.
Okay. So in the last class, I think we discussed one question in which we have to find out the minimum number of operation required to make two strings equal, right? And the operations are we can insert a character, we can delete a character, and we can replace a character. So more or less, we have calculated this thing, right? We write the brute force approach for it, and we know the problem now. You can I think in the last class I show you that there are overlapping sub problem. Somehow we have to tackle that, right? How we can tackle the overlapping sub problem? By remembering or memorizing the result. Here you can see that there are two variables, m and n. M is the length of string s1 and n is the length of string s2. So both are changing here. Sometimes m is changing, sometimes n is changing. Here you can see that m is fixed, n is changing. Here m is changing, n is fixed, and here both are changing. Something like this, correct? So now you can see like what what is the size of the table that we have to keep. What is, whether it is 2D or 1D? Obviously it is a 2D because two variables are changing here, correct? So we will start with this only. I'll just copy this particular function here, and we'll create a new class. This thing we already did. Now what we will do, we'll take one static array. That is table array. And here we will declare the size of the table array. So obviously you know that it is a 2D and the size will be something like this. New int size will be m+1 and n+1. Something like this. What is m and n here? Let's declare two string. Let's say string s1 equal to something like cat, and string s2 equal to something like cut. Correct? Here we will do something like this, s1 dot length and s2 dot length. And obviously here you can see that instead of passing these string, we can pass s1 and s2. Something like this we can do. Okay. We have the table size now. Now what we have to do, we have to just see this particular function. And based on that particular, we'll decide. So what we will do, listen carefully now. Very small function, public static, let's say int, min operation to make the string equal, bottom up approach. Same thing will pass string s1, string s2, int m, int n. Obviously, listen carefully now what we will do. Same conditions also. If s1 dot char at index m-1 equal to s2 dot char at index n-1. If this is the case, if both the character are matching, last characters are matching, what we will do, we'll remove both the character, and now we'll look into the remaining string. So here we can just say something like this, table of I comma j. Now here there is nothing I comma j, something like this we will do, correct? Table of I comma j, we will declare something like this. Now the question is from which particular cell we will start filling these particular values. Because right now we are focusing on the bottom up approach. We cannot call the recursive function again and again, correct? Because this is an iterative version. So where is the loops here? We'll try to write the loop first. Initially, you can see that we have to fill the table array with the base condition. So here you can see that when m value is 0, we are just returning n, and when n is 0, we are returning m. Something like this we are doing. So before doing anything, we have to first fill the table array with base values, with the default values. So we'll do something like this. Let's traverse the complete, you can say that the row number 0. Row number 0 means string length s1 is 0. String length s1 is 0 means m is 0, more or less. So we'll write here something like this. Int I equal to 0, I less than s1 dot length, less than equal to s1 dot length, or s2 dot length. It should be s2 dot length. Then I plus plus. Then we'll write here something like this table. If the first row is 0, it means string length of string s1 is 0. That is nothing but m is 0. So means the row, we are talking about row 0. So this is the 0th row, and these are the column value. And here you can see that when any value is 0, we are simply returning the n. So here we will simply write I here. That's it. Similarly, we'll do something like this. For int I equal to 0, I less than s2 dot length, or you can say s1 dot length, I plus plus. When s2 is 0 and s1 can be anything, in that case we are returning m. See here the second condition. So same thing we'll do. S1 can be anything and S2 can be 0 means we are talking about the first column. So we'll do something like this. Table of I comma 0 equal to I. Nothing else. What it will do, it will just fill the default values. What is the meaning here? S1 is, you can say that empty, and S1 is empty. And in this case, you can see that what is this? S2 is empty. So now we have default values. Now we can start with cell starting with these index I equal to 1 and j is equal to 1. That we can do. So for that we'll write something like this. For int I equal to 0, I less than, for I equal to 1, I less than equal to s1 dot length, I plus plus. For int j equal to 1, j less than equal to s2 dot length, j plus plus. And here we will write what we will write. Listen carefully. We'll write here something like this. If s1 dot caret index I minus 1 is equal to s2 dot caret index j minus 1, means the last index is matching, then in that case we will fill the table I comma j with what? With table of I minus 1 and j minus 1. See here what we are doing here. If the last character is matching, then we are checking the remaining string, that is m minus 1 and n minus 1. Same thing we are doing here. Otherwise, we are filling this particular value table of I comma j with minimum number of operation, whether it will be done by the replace operation or delete or insert. So we'll write here something like this. Math dot min. See here, please listen carefully now. This is what insert operation. What is insert operation? We are calling m and n minus 1. Correct? So same thing I will do here. Table I comma j minus 1. This is insert operation. Then we'll write here math dot min. What I will do here, table. See here, the second operation is delete operation. In delete operation, we are just deleting the character from S1. That is nothing but I minus 1 comma j. I minus 1 comma j minus 1. Sorry, I minus 1 comma j. And the third operation is nothing but replace operation. In the replace, we are replacing both character, one character, and those character will match. Correct? So we'll do something like this. Table I minus 1, j minus 1. At the end, whatever operation whatever operation we will do, at the end we will add 1 into the result, something like this. Correct? See here, we are adding 1 into the result. That's it, nothing else. And at the end, once we have the result, we can just return table of m comma n. That's it, nothing else. So I'll write here same thing. Let me just call this particular function. Here I will pass s1, then s2, then whatever the length, that is s1 dot length, comma s2 dot length. Something like this I will do. And obviously before, when we enter this particular function, we'll print the table array as well. So I think we can just maybe we'll take the display function from here, from I think class number 48. There is a display function. I'm just copying this particular display function. I'll call the display function here before starting it. That is nothing but table array. And once we finish it, then also I will call the display function, something like this. So let's call this and let's see the result. You can see the result here. At the end, we are talking about this particular value. That is nothing but it will give you the minimum number of operations required to make both strings equal. Correct? So in this case, cat and cut are equal. So we'll write 1 here, more or less. Anyone has any doubt in this? We just write the mimic complete copy of the brute force approach. Instead of calling, we are utilizing the memorization result. So here you can see that this is the memorization result, something like this. If anyone has any doubt, please ask. I don't see any responses, guys. Is it clear? Still, I'm not seeing any response. If I don't get response, I will skip the questions. That's what I can do from my end. So it seems that you are not interested. So I shared the code with you. This particular one, maybe I can give you the assignment now and you can do the rest of the question by your own. Tomorrow we will start a new topic. So I'll just write the assignment questions. The first question will be something like this. You are given one array. Let's say the array will be something like this. Let's say 3, 4, maybe 2, maybe let's say 8 and 10. What you have to do, you have to find out the longest increasing find out longest increasing subsequence. What is the meaning here? Try to understand the question here. We have to find out the longest increasing subsequence. Subsequence you know very well. Subsequence means we can pick any number of character, but the order must be same as that of input. Correct? What is the meaning here? If we can pick as many number as we can, like for example, let's say 3, 2, 8, something like this. This is a subsequence here because here you can see that after 2 is coming after 3 and 8 is coming after 2. Orders remains the same. We can pick any number of character and they need not to be contiguous. So these are, you can see that type of you can say that subsequence here. For example, if I write something like 2, 4. This is not a subsequence. Why? Because 4 is coming before 2, but in this case 4 is coming after 2. Correct? So this is not correct, this is correct. Next thing is what we have to do, we have to find out longest increasing. Increasing subsequence means whatever subsequence we will write, in that particular subsequence, the number must be in increasing order. Correct? So there are different possible subsequence possible here. See here, 3 is one of the subsequence. 3, 4 is one of the subsequence which is increasing, right? 3 and 4. Then we can take something like 3, 4, 8. This is also a subsequence. We can take 3, 4, 8 and 10. This is also a subsequence. Similarly, there are 2. There are something like 3, 2 and 8, something like 2, 8, 10. And there are many, more or less. Let's say 8, 10. This is one of the subsequence. Let's say 8. Let's say 10. And there are many. Here, what we have to do, here you can see that out of those, this particular subsequence is nothing but longest subsequence here. Because in this subsequence, you can see 4 number of elements are present. So the output here is nothing but we have to find out longest increasing subsequence length. So the expected output is here is nothing but 4. Let me give you one more example. Let's say example 2. We'll write here something like ARR. The array will be given something like this. Let's say 4, 10, 6, 5, 8, let's say 11, 2, and let's say 20. What we will do here, we'll do something like this. We can pick these values. If we take, let's say 4, let's say if after 4, if we take 6, then maybe let's say 8, then maybe let's say 11, and then let's say 20. This may be the one of the longest increasing subsequence because here you can see that we can pick 5 elements here and all the elements are in increasing order now. Correct? You can say that I can pick 10 also here, but after 10 you can pick here 11 only, because you can't pick these elements. If you pick 6, 5, 8, then it is no longer a increasing subsequence. So we'll pick here 11 as well as 20, something like this we can do. But this particular subsequence is not a longest increasing subsequence. This number of element here is 4 and here it is 5. So the expected output here is nothing but 5. Correct. So you have to find out the longest increasing subsequence in this case. I hope the question is clear. Anyone has any doubt in the question, please ask me. And if there is no doubt, please take the screenshot of this question. Okay, write down the next homework question. Question number 2 that you can try. You are given a, you can say that a stick of length n. Given a stick of length n. Now you can break the stick into pieces of length, let's say A, B, and C. Suppose these values are given to you. For example, you can take the example you can take here is, let's say n is equal to 5 here, A equal to 1, let's say B equal to 2, and C equal to 3. There are various ways you can break the stick. You can break the stick into pieces of length 1. You can break the this particular stick into pieces of length 2, and you can break the this particular stick into pieces of length 3. There are many ways. What we have to find out? We have to find out that particular combination which will give us maximum number of, you can say that, pieces. So here, if you break this particular, you can say that stick into pieces of length A here, what will happen? You can just break 5 into pieces of A, right? So you'll just break into 5 parts. Correct. So this will give 5 as an answer. If you want to break in terms of, let's say, length 2, then 5 will be break down in 2, 2, and 1. Something like this will happen. So there are 3 pieces here. If you want to break down in terms of, let's say, 3, then there are 3 possibilities. Correct. So something like you can break 3 and now 2, or you can break something like 3 and 1 and 1. Here also there are 2 possibilities possible. For example, you can break into 1 and 1 if you want. Correct. Here also there are 2 possibilities. You can break into 1 and 1. So more or less what will happen in this case, the output will be 3 only. The number of, you can say that, pieces will be 3 only. In this case, the number of pieces will be 3 only. And in this case, if you break into 3 and 2, it is also the number of pieces are 2 only. So the output, you can say that you can break into these particular configuration. There are many, you can say that, possibilities here, but a few possibilities are something like this: 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. This is one possibility. Then 2, 2, 1. This is another possibility. Then 3 and 2. This is another possibility. Then 3 and 1 and 1. Okay. Then this the next one is, I think, something like this. Maybe you can break something like 2, 1, 1, 1. I think this is not. Yeah, this is okay. 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is, there are many in this case, right? But out of them, we have to find out that particular combination which will return maximum number of pieces. So in this case here, you can see that this particular combination will give us maximum number of pieces. So output here is nothing but we can break into 5 pieces. Output here is nothing but 5 here. This is one example. I'll give you one more example. Let's say example number 2. Let's say n is equal to 23, A equal to, let's say, maybe let's say 12, B equal to 11, and let's say C equal to 13. So in this case, I think there is only one possibility. You can break n, and that is nothing but we can break n into 2 parts. where the first part length is nothing but 12 and the second part length is nothing but 11. Rest, if you try, let's say if you are try to break this n into two part, let's say the first part is 13, next part you can't break, right? Because the remaining length is 10 and 10 is not a option here, correct? So there are, this is nothing but the expected output, and expected output is here is nothing but 2 only, something like this. Maybe I will give one more example. Let's say n is equal to something like, let's say 3, and a equal to 2, b equal to 4, and c equal to, let's say 2 here. Suppose this is a situation that is given, you can break into these pieces, maybe 2, 3, 4. Let's say we can take c as 3, something like this. Maybe 2, 3, and 4, something like this is given. So here only one possibility is there. You can break the n into that particular stick into one piece of length 3. That is the case. If you break into the one piece of length 2, then the remaining piece length is nothing but 1 here, and there is no stick, no piece we can break with length equal to 1 here. Similarly here, when b equal to 4, we can't break because the length is already less than this particular value. So output here is nothing but 1 only. I hope these three outputs are inputs are clear to you. Anyone has any doubt in these three input, please let me know. Okay, if there is no doubt, you can take the screenshot of this.
Sir, we have to print all the possible outputs,
Yeah,
which will give
you have to think all the possible. Few I wrote here. For example, in this case, there are many possibilities. Few I wrote here. Out of those possibility, we have to take that particular answer. We have to include that particular possibility, which will give us maximum pieces. So here you can see that maximum we can break into 5 pieces only. Correct? Something like this.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the next question will be something like this. You are given a coin array, the same, that is nothing but denomination array. So you have two types of array now. Sorry, you can say that a coins array in which few denominations are given. Let's say you have a coin of 25 rupees, you have a coin of rupees 10, and you have a coin of rupees 5, and there are infinite number of, you can say that 25 rupees coin, infinite number of 10 rupees coin, and infinite number of 5 rupees coins, and you are given a value. Let's say you are given some value equal to 30. What you have to do, you have to use minimum number of coins to get this value, to achieve this value, to create this value. So what is the question now? Minimum number of coins required to form, get, or create the value. What is the meaning? See here example, in this case we are taking the same example. The coin array is given as something like this. 25, 10, and 5, and the value is given as something like 30 here. Now you know very well here there are many possibility. We can create the sum, create the value equal to 30. For that there are many possibility. What are the possibility? We can take 6 coins of denomination 5. This is one of the possibility. Similarly, we can take, let's say, 3 coins of denomination 10. This is another possibility. Similarly, there is another possibility. We can take 1 coin of denomination 25 and 1 coin of denomination 5. So out of those possibility, I think this one will give us the minimum answer, minimum number of answer coins in this case, right? So the expected output here is nothing but 2 here. Correct. There are many possibility. Out of those possibility, we have to select the best one, and the best one is this only. Example 2. Let's say the coin array given as something like, let's say 9, 6, 5, and 1. And the value is given as something like, let's say 11. You have 4 coins, 4 types of coin here. one with denomination 9, one with denomination 6, one with denomination 5, and one with denomination 1. You have to create the sum equal to 9. Now, for that, there are different possibility. You can just say, like, I can take 11 coins of rupees 1, of denomination 1. This is one possibility. Another possibility is I can take two coins of, you can say that denomination 5 and one coin of denomination 1. Similarly, I can take two coins, one coin of denomination 5 and one coin of denomination 6. Similarly, I can take maybe something like one coin of denomination 9 and two coins of denomination 1. And there are many possibilities. Out of those possibility, I think this particular one is the will give us the minimum number of coins. So here the expected output is nothing but 2 here. Correct? Anyone has any doubt in this question?
No, sir.
Take the screenshot of this question as well. Now, few questions are related to that particular longest increasing subsequence problem. So if I feel that you are interested tomorrow, then I will continue the dynamic programming. Otherwise, we'll start a new topic tomorrow. So these three questions are homework for you. I want at least not the dynamic programming one, at least the brute force solution from you guys. So do that. I'm not asking that you have to do the dynamic programming one, but before doing the dynamic programming, we should know the brute force approach. So I want that particular submission from all of you. If you submit it on time, then tomorrow we'll continue the dynamic programming. Lots of questions are remaining in the dynamic programming section, but today I didn't get any responses. So if this type of behavior is there, my target will be to just complete the syllabus. And from the Edurify team, I have the clarity now. They just said if the students are not interested, just explain the topic and just explain two questions for that topic. That's it. Nothing else is required from their side and from my side. So this is the behavior that I observed today. Solve these three questions. If I see that you guys are interested, then I will continue the dynamic programming tomorrow. Otherwise, we'll discuss new topic that is nothing but the graph one. And I think two topics are remaining now to complete the syllabus as well: dynamic programming, graph, and I think this OPS concept. So we'll see like how much we can do in this case. And from this week onward, we have two classes. I think we don't have class on Saturday from this week onwards. So utilize this time efficiently. That's what I can say at this particular moment. So yeah, and tomorrow we will end up the class now only. Maybe you can take the screenshot of this question and let me know once you done that, and post this question in the Slack channel. We'll see. Tomorrow the deadline will be around 5 o'clock. Then I will decide what topic I have to cover in tomorrow's class. Okay then. Whatever I explained today, I just shared the code with you on the Slack channel. You can just check that. And yeah, thanks everyone for joining the class on time. We'll meet tomorrow.
Sir, today's class is over.
Yes.
आपने
अरे यार इतना जल्दी क्लास ओवर हो गया।
तो भाई लोग असाइनमेंट नहीं किए क्या?
असाइनमेंट नहीं सर, अभी जो हम लोग रेस्पॉन्स नहीं दिया ना, इसीलिए ऐसा हुआ होगा।
सर लेट ज्वाइन किया था एक्चुअली।
अरे क्लास में कोई बोलता नहीं है ना, इसीलिए ऐसा होता है बार बार। और डायनामिक प्रोग्राम में इतना इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक है तब भी कोई बोलता नहीं है।
क्या ही कर सकते हैं यार।
अरे हम लोग का ऐसे प्रॉब्लम होगा ना, डायनामिक प्रोग्रामिंग का क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने में बहुत ज्यादा दिक्कत आता है।
बात तो है काफी सही का।
एक बार मंजीत सर से ही बात कर लो।
मंजीत सर एड्यूरिफाई टीम
रेस्पॉन्स भी नहीं दे रहे हैं सर कुछ।
कोई था क्या, आई मीन स्टार्टिंग से किसने ज्वाइन किया हो तो बता सकते हो कि क्या हुआ क्लास में? अनिता, सिद्धार्थ, वेदांत।
अरे
मैं
सर
नहीं
ने
थी निखिल एक्चुअली,
सर ने
इवन आई
एक्सप्लेन
जॉइन वेरी
किया,
लेट टुडे।
सर ने एक्सप्लेन किया, उसके बाद सर ने कुछ मतलब ये पूछ रहा था कि मतलब तुम लोग समझे या नहीं, कोई रिस्पॉन्स नहीं दिया, उसी बात पे सर गुस्सा है।
ओके ओके, क्या कर रहे हो यार गाइस, रिप्लाई क्या करो। सौरभ सर ने भी इसी वजह से अब क्लास वो भी आई मीन थोड़ा ब्रेक लेके ले रहे हैं। इस टाइप से तो कुछ भी नहीं होगा आगे।
हम ही लोग का लॉस होगा ऐसे तो।
भाई तो हमारा ही नहीं और आपका भी लॉस हो रहा है, बिकॉज आपको ऑलरेडी पता है सबको यार, काफी कुछ बाकी है अभी। बट खैर कोई नहीं, चलो बाय।
ओके।